Joining me now is esteemed geologist Professor Ian Plimer. Let's start with a claim by Energy Minister Chris Bowen that the Nationals are calling completely bogus. He retweeted an article from the far-left publication, the Saturday paper, where they claimed that the coalition was fracturing on nuclear energy. A senior Liberal source told the paper, basically, it's the Nats that have pushed this nuclear thing, but now they're running away from it at 1,000 miles an hour because they don't want it in their seats, and the poor old regional libs aren't going to cop it. Senior Liberal source? I wonder who that could be. Surely the Nats would prefer to have, I don't know, these small nuclear reactors rather than thousands of acres destroyed with ugly solar farms and wind turbines? Or is this genuine? You're in the regions all the time, Ian. Are the Nationals fracturing on nuclear?
No, they're not. The Nationals represent the farmers and the people in rural Australia, and these people are having their land destroyed by solar and wind industrial complexes. The Nationals are very united about having to destroy the farmland to save the farmland. And people in the rural areas of Australia are absolutely sick and tired of being taken for granted by the cities by having their land destroyed. The end result will be food security problems in Australia. But that's a long way down the track, and that doesn't matter for the ideology. We're just kicking the problems down the road.
Now, speaking of fantasies, here's Chris Bowen believing that using our taxes to cut carbon emissions is just going to create all these well-paying jobs.
$300 million across 9 facilities right across Australia. I'm in Tasmania, where we're helping Cement Australia reduce their emissions at a facility they've been operating for more than 100 years. Lots of jobs to be created, lots of emissions to be reduced. Australia's got a great industrial future with a future made in Australia, and we're going to reduce emissions as we do so.
These jobs he speaks of, Ian, are they long-term jobs, commercially viable, well-paying, or is this just going to be short-term jobs that are really due to the taxpayer largesse? We're just propping up a sector that needs subsidies to survive.
Well, Chris Bowen must have tied our economy to that of Mars, because in every Western economy, we see that as soon as we put in solar and wind to replace reliable nuclear, reliable coal and reliable gas, then we lose jobs. Then costs go up. And we know that for every solar and wind job in the UK, they're subsidised to the tune of hundreds of thousands of pounds. So he must be on another planet. He can't be on planet Earth, because we've got numerous examples all over the place to show that he's demonstrably wrong.
Now to the US, where Joe Biden is launching something called the American Climate Corps.
I'm Joe Biden.
I'm Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I'm Ed Markey.
We're here to share some exciting news with you. Americans can now apply to join the American Climate Corps.
Those who become American Climate Corps members will get paid to fight the impacts of climate change while learning the skills to be part of tomorrow's clean energy and climate resilience workforce.
Right now, we're recruiting for more than 2,000 positions located all across the country. To apply for an American Climate Corps job, visit climatecorps.gov.
We're counting on you.
2,000 climate activists paid for by the taxpayer. I'm scared we've just given Chris Bowen and Anthony Albanese all a bunch of new ideas, Ian. What are this lot going to achieve?
Well, these are BS jobs. These are creating jobs for people who are totally and absolutely unemployable and useless. They probably did political science degrees at some of the universities where we see these big demonstrations going on at present. A climate corps sounds like what we saw in Cambodia in Pol Pot's time, or what we saw in Mao Zedong's time in China, with younger people going around, beating others around the head, saying, this is the truth. These jobs are being created by your taxes. These jobs are being created by people who are eminently unemployable and uneducated. And I think President Biden is really showing his true colours.
Oh, he is there, and there's lots of media conjecture at the moment about what a Trump is going to do if we do have a second Trump term, what he will do with US energy policy once he's in office. And I've got to say, the plans look quite good to me. More oil and gas permits, aggressive deregulation, federal career staff relegated to the sidelines. I can't see any problems with any of that, Ian.
No, well, he's doing what he said he'd do when he was president before, that's drain the swamp. But I don't think he realised how boggy the swamp was and how difficult it was to do. He has learned. And he has to come in like Alexander the Great with a sword and cut the Gordian knot. There are hundreds of thousands of jobs in the Western countries of people actually stopping business making a profit, using climate policy to destroy people's livelihoods. And Trump has said, no, that's enough. I'm going to actually have a vibrant US. The US is a huge energy producer. It has a lot of coal, it has a lot of gas, it has a lot of oil, and they have even more by fracking. And if President Trump becomes the sitting president again, I am absolutely sure he will come in with an axe and clean out those people who are destroying taxpayers' wealth and who are killing off small business.
Now, let's go to the UK quickly. Their Energy Secretary is warning that net zero policies could crush British businesses. The UK's target of reaching net zero has been in law since Theresa May was Prime Minister, and they want to get to net zero by 2050. But the Telegraph reports that Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is facing increasing calls to dramatically water down or even abandon these green policies. And these calls are coming from his Tory backbenchers. They fear these policies are going to cost the party support of the general election. No kidding on Einstein. It's incredible it's taken this long for the Tories to understand the damage net zero is doing to their country.
Well, it's too late. They're gone. They'll lose government. And as soon as a politician says the words net zero, you know that politician is heading for extinction. The community is not stupid. The community knows that net zero is costing a fortune and will cost them even more. The community knows that their electricity bills have gone up. And every time we put in a new wind turbine or a new solar panel, then the costs go up. We have abandoned grid systems and cheap, reliable electricity to put in unreliable electricity and called this the path to net zero. So if you, as a politician, want to get kicked out as an election, then stick with the policy net zero. And the quicker the Conservative Party get away from this, then the better it is, because then they have a chance of survival.